Hi, I'm Val Fiott, ACE certified health coach and leader of PPT's clinical exercise department. Here are some helpful tools for assessing a client's rating of perceived exertion. Checking a heart rate accurately can sometimes slow down a session's momentum unnecessarily, and sometimes it just makes more sense to rely upon a rating of perceived exertion, especially when training multiple clients simultaneously. Now, I think it's first important to identify that a client's perception of exertion really depends upon what it is we're talking about. So when you ask a client, I see a lot of trainers do this, they'll say, how hard do you feel like you're working right now on a scale of 1 to 10? We've got to remember, they're not always talking about their aerobic work. They could be looking at their aerobic capacity, they could be looking at how hard their heart is pounding and their breathing rate, all factors that you should be able to assess on your own. But they might also be talking about muscle fatigue. They might be thinking that, for example, if someone were running, their calves are so fatigued that even though there's light aerobic work happening, their calves feel like they're a 9 or a 10 on that 1 to 10 scale, whereas their aerobic work might only be a 3 or a 4. And it's really important to assess the difference, or you might get a very unhelpful response from the client in determining what to do next. Core work could be another one. For example, in a push-up exercise, if the core muscles can't support, they just don't have enough endurance to keep going, the exercise essentially fails. But that might not really be an indicator of what's happening with the upper body or with the anaerobic system. Also, coordination and concentration. Here's another thing I see a lot of clients do. They'll report a very high difficulty level. They'll say, oh, this is very taxing. This is a 9 or a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10. When really it's not really taxing the aerobic system. It's not really taxing the muscles or the core. What's really just happening is there's a lot to focus on. It's a hybrid exercise. You might have 2 multi-joint movements happening at once. And there's so much going on that they're very focused on that, and it just feels overwhelming, but it's not really hard physiological work in the sense of what we're looking for. So please consider all these factors when you ask your client for their rating of perceived exertion.